Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to the Forbidden Path here in Let's Call BBS with just the most normal puzzle selection screen ever that anyone's ever seen ever. Let's see what the deal is with this. Of course, construct a jaw. Alright, well, this seems pretty... How do we want to do this? How do we want to approach this? I was going to say this seems pretty doable based on absolutely nothing. I don't know what would make me think that. Okay, so we could do a seed, like seed divides left, seed divides right. Then seed divides down as a tertiary instruction. Ah, but these don't connect down. Maybe I should be working around the piece of metal, right? Because I could go... If the second instruction is seed divides down, we give seed divides up greater precedence than that. Then when we do a seed divides left, yeah, it'll climb up around here the way we want it to. The problem is that adding a seed divides right to this at any point causes us to expand into this area like that. How am I going to get the bits that are supposed to be bone to extend to the right a single tile? It feels like you got to get this part first, right? You build this downward and then this can just be an extension all the way to the right. So maybe starting in the top corner is the thing to do. But how do we make this part work? Because we want to extend out from you, but we don't want to... So it's like seed that has nothing above it. Extend left. Right, and then it's going to want to do this. So we also have to put an instruction in that's higher priority than that. That's like seed with metal to your left. Turn into this meat. Oops, sorry, seed with metal to your left. Become flesh. That doesn't stop it from extending down, though. It doesn't yet, because it doesn't notice until later. Well, actually, it just has to be a higher priority than the extend down instruction. Yeah. Okay. So actually I want to move both of these down. And we want to do the same thing. Seed with metal to your right. Become flesh. Okay. So now we can kind of walk this down carefully, right? This is like... We might end up with too many instructions here. Divide down. And then this stuff can just divide right as well. Flesh with metal above. Ah, shoot. Right, but this is a different... The bone is in a different specialization group. So you actually have to get the... It has to be seed down here. So we can't use this to stop the extension. Huh. How are we going to do that? Okay, it can't be a general extend down instruction. It has to be something else. Seed with nothing to its right extend down? And then... Can I pick these up and... No, if I click on it... I was going to see if I could click and drag the instructions around in the list. Okay, so now we have to crawl down very carefully, right? Seed that has nothing above it can divide downward. Seed that has metal to its left or right can divide downward. Right, but then this one doesn't. Yeah, this one breaks. Shoot. Okay, well, in any case, seed that has metal to its left can divide downward. And then... Wait, do we not have a general... Oh, no, we do not have a general extend left instruction. Right, for very good reason. So seed that has seed to its right extend left will only... Divide left will only... Yeah, it will only extend this row. Okay. Then... Seed that has metal above it extend... divide downward. How do I get just those two to become bone? Okay. Seed that has metal above it. This is lower priority than the other one, but seed that has metal above it become flesh. And then seed that has flesh above it can specialize to bone. And actually, if I bump the importance on this one way up, we can prevent, if it gets above this instruction, I think it will prevent that second seed from appearing at all, which actually is fine. No, it doesn't, because by the time that's happening, by the time the metamorphosis is happening, the extension has already occurred. So we're going to run out of time trying to step it like this. I was going to try to... Yeah. Because what I really want to do is have, like, bone extend down, bone extend left, bone extend right, and then all of it turn into this stuff. But we have too few cycles. Like seed with bone above it, specialize into bone, and then extend, and then specialize more, and yeah. Shit. It's functional, but it's too many moments. So like part of the value of there being a couple of state changes between each frame is that in situations where things don't have to wait for an instruction, they move a little bit faster. Okay, what about this? Let me restart. What if we start here? And we go like... First things first, seed extends down. Seed divide down. then seed with metal above become flesh, because we can do flesh extension the rest of the way, right? So then it's like flesh with metal above can divide both right and left. This is still a lot of individual steps, but I think it's going to get faster after this. Flesh loves to divide up. Everybody knows that about flesh. So then it's like... how do I make this extend? We still have time. The problem is I'm going to need to execute a flesh extends downward command here. How about this? Flesh with nothing above it only affects those ones on the top line due to the way this is shaped. So that stuff just specializes into the Meat Boy stuff. And then that stuff divides right and also divides down. Okay. And then it's like seed. Well, the problem is we still have all this time, right? These seeds are going to try to process any instruction I give them. I mean, seed with flesh above it turns to bone is pretty easy. And that'll start happening nice and early. Yeah, and then seed with bone above it specializes to bone. So that gets us to like here. Bone fuses to, or specializes to the other bone, the one that looks like spinal column. Oh. This has to go later because you actually can't divide that. But we can't just tell it to divide right because it will get there before the meat gets there. So this instruction has to be smarter than that. How do we make this instruction smarter? It can't be bone with nothing to the right extends rightward, because obviously that'll still have it extending out here. It can't be bone with flesh above extends rightward, because we have this problem still. It can't be bone with bone to the left extends rightward, because yeah, that's problematic. What if this bone with the red meat above it dies? No, okay, the meat will not extend down to fill the space. Which is weird because meat divides down has a higher priority than bone divides right. Okay, I have a new thought. One of these buttons is a reset, right? Yes, okay. That's right. Then we have 4 different solution slots, I think is what these are. Okay. So if we do seed extends up, seed divides up is a thing we can do pretty comfortably. Seed divides left is also totally fine. Then seed with nothing above it divides right is also okay because it's after seed extends, seed divides up in the instructions, so the seed will always try to... Oh, wait, why did I do that? Why did I overwrite the initial instruction to do that? That's obviously wrong. Okay, cool. All right, so now seed with nothing above it extends down. Sadly, only gets us extension to here, right? And then we're going to have a really hard time with any instruction that, well, I guess we can start turning things to meat at that point, and then we can give a meat extends down instruction. Yeah. Okay. So let's also do seed with metal above it extends down. Divides down. Okay, and the stuff wants to divide that way, that's fine. All right, then we do... How do I turn the correct stuff to meat? Maybe this is not actually viable. I mean, I can like issue a bunch of instructions that have to do with the meat or the metal. So like seed with metal above it turns to meat, a lower priority than all of the other seed with metal above it instructions. Turns to flesh. Then seed with flesh above it specializes to bone. See, this is a problem. Is there a way, can I get rid of the seed divides left instruction? Do I need the seed divides left instruction? Yeah, I do. I mean, we can do this, but it's definitely awkward. It feels like it's just wasting a step. It's like bone with, because then I have to specify more carefully here. Only bone with flesh above it divides downward. And then we're gonna waste like 15 instructions. Yeah, we're gonna waste a lot of instructions trying to like carefully turn stuff to flesh without turning this to flesh. And we're gonna run out of time. I don't think this solution is going to work. Okay, here's another thought. This is a sort of similar, like what if a problem that we've been having is that it's very difficult to get the bone to extend to here, but then not to there, using instructions that look at what's above the bone. But that doesn't have to be the case, right? Because we can go seed extends left. But actually, we can be really specific about this one too, because I think this is the only seed that we want to divide left. Okay. Also, seed with metal above it divides down. Seed divides upward. Actually, no. Then right now we can do a So if I do this, and I do a seed specializes to flesh instruction at the same, like, approximate time. Yeah, so now we have the two different pieces of the puzzle broken apart already, and we can extend them exactly the way we want to. So it's like bone divides down, and bone with anything above it divides right. Oh yeah, that does create a staircase, doesn't it? A bone with flesh above it divides right won't cause a division down here. Well, bone divides left is cool. Is the only way to do this going to be making sure that this is the first thing that happens? Maybe, because it's so hard to control extension to a point. And if you start anywhere down here, it takes a lot of cycles before this forms. Because we can go like flesh with metal above it divides to the right. Flesh loves to divide upward. Everybody knows that. Fuck gravity. Flesh with... See, if I do a flesh with nothing above it divides right, we're going to get a rightward division from this, aren't we? No, I guess this is processing the other instruction too, like, early enough that it doesn't even see that. And then we're back in a very similar situation. So I mean, what about this? What about, like, as soon as we can, we turn that piece of flesh to the red meat. And then it's like flesh with flesh to its left can extend down, and this won't extend down to break anything. Flesh with flesh to its left, divide downward. It doesn't actually... Right, it doesn't get all the way there, though. Shit. And like a bone with the red flesh above it, you can divide right. That's fine. But then bone is like, I want to extend downward because I love breaking my solution. Fuck. There we go. Bone with red meat above it likes to extend downward. I mean, that's well known. Flesh with bone to its left. Shit, I've done this completely backwards. No, the middle thing is the flesh. This is the bone. Also divides down. So we get there, but we get there on the final cycle. So even if we had a sort of a blanket, flesh becomes meat. Well, no, okay, so we have some stuff that's just sitting for some cycles. Yeah, we sure do. So this stuff starts turning too early. Yeah, all right. It might be the case that the only way to do this is to form the left wall or the right wall of the puzzle first. You might just have to. So Seed with nothing to its right divides downward. We have to be really careful about seed divides downward, right? Because I can't have these ones forming all the way down immediately. It is also the case that seed loves to divide to the left. Fuck. It is also the case that seed with nothing above it loves to divide to the left. How am I going to do this? So then you got to get it down here. Seed with what if I make this seed with nothing to its left divides downward? Oh, right, yeah, it doesn't. It's impossible to stop it on the other side then if we do it that way. I was just thinking it's going to let it climb down here, but yeah, it doesn't stop there. So now I need to get a seed under here. And you end up with this like really slow string of individual instructions again. Seed with metal to one of its sides. It kind of doesn't matter which. Also divides down. Nope, it does matter which actually because of, yeah, the way I've built the other instruction sets. Okay. Seed with seed to its right likes to divide left, and then we have this cap. Okay. Then we do seed with metal above it divides downward. This is feeling very familiar. No, I think we still have time though. Okay. Seed with metal above it becomes flesh. That's didn't press the right things at all there. Specializes into flesh. Yeah, look how late that's happening. That's problematic. Seed with flesh above it specializes into bone. And then like this is the puzzle, and it's trivially achievable within the instruction space, but it's not achievable within the cycle space. Is it possible that I'm just very bad at this game? How do I make it all happen fast enough? Okay. We need the starting seed to be more between the 2 points of contention. Like maybe here. I need to get down here faster, but I still have to get over here even faster than that. So what about this? Seed loves to divide upward. I think that's very safe. Then seed with nothing to its left can cleanly divide rightward. Seed with nothing above it divides down okay. So what I was thinking was you could get to this and then you could do seed with nothing to its right divides down, but the problem is you have a frame here where this seed's not doing any work, and so I think this is going to cause that seed to divide downward. Yeah. But it might actually still work if we do give that seed something to be doing during that moment. It's like, what if at that moment it's turning to flesh? Oh, see, that's not where the metal is. There we go. Okay, cool. And then flesh with metal to its left. I don't actually want that. What I want is for it to divide downward on this step and just not to do this. So maybe what I need is... Yeah, seed with nothing to its right gets to divide downward is a problem. But like this part has to start happening faster, right? So how about this? Let's throw in a seed with nothing to its right divides left command. And we'll put that at a higher priority than the down command. Trying to buy time here. It doesn't quite get us enough time. Yeah. What if I start it up here? We get rid of the seed goes up part entirely. Right? Like that's a good start. Seed with nothing below it extends left. If it's positioned properly... Right, so the thing is, we definitely don't want it to be higher priority than extend down. So wait, why do we have a down extension here? Right, because they're extending off of not having something above them. Which is necessary for... It's actually not necessary anymore. Wait. So here, we don't need these to both extend down. It can just be this one. So like seed with nothing to its right can go down. But actually, if I do that, then I'd never get the seed adjacent to the metal. Which is problematic. So the seed extends left. Because it has nothing below it. And then this seed extends down because it has nothing above it. So actually, here's the thing. This instruction isn't actually seed with nothing below it. It's seed with a seed to its right. Yeah, that's much cleaner. Because that still only acts on this seed initially, but then it cleanly propagates the instruction across. Okay, then we can do this thing, and we're doing it much earlier in the puzzle, right? No, sorry. It has to divide downward. Okay. Now the seed with the metal above it can turn to flesh. Sorry, the seed with the metal above it can turn to flesh. There we go. That's how you do that. The seed with the flesh above it can turn to bone. What I would really love is to not have this other bone here. Whatever, we'll get it. Okay, we'll get it. So the problem is this makes it very expensive, right? So seed with flesh above it specializes to bone is this is a very expensive process though. Seed with bone above it, but we have to specialize so that we're not turning any other seeds into the wrong things at any point. Yeah, I don't know. This feels not right. So seed with bone above it specializes to bone. Bone divides left and bone divides right are both totally safe because bone doesn't form until super late in the puzzle. But I think we run out of time for the specialize, yeah. And then also you have to have, like, at some point, seed fuses to close that. And then, yeah. There's no way to make it so that, like, it's seed not below metal transforms. How do I get this thing? All right. Seed with metal above it divides downward. As a higher priority instruction, can actually buy us another cycle, right? Yeah, we can make that happen up here. And if that's the case, does that give us enough time to get everything accomplished? What about seed with nothing below it begins to turn to flesh? Nope. Seed with nothing below it begins to turn to flesh. There you go. That's how you do that. Okay. No, that's obviously bad. I'm trying to get the process of meatification started a little bit earlier, but it's actually quite tricky. I mean, seed with nothing above it begins to turn to flesh can happen fairly early in the puzzle without being terribly disruptive. Yeah. And then any seed that has flesh directly above it can also turn to flesh. And that propagates the flesh quality very early without touching the seed that we're most worried about. So then how do we... It's tricky. Because you can't skip a step, right? You can't be like seed with flesh to its left jumps the... No. And obviously seed with flesh above it turns to bone. Doesn't work for a bunch of reasons. Here's a question. I'm still not super clear on the timing. Like, this seed begins to exist, and then it extends downward, and then it turns to flesh. So I'm kind of wondering, if I do a seed with nothing to its left turns to bone command... Okay, no, it doesn't catch that one, but it does catch the one below it somehow. And this stuff doesn't turn to flesh fast enough to stop from turning to bone. Bummer. Right, yeah, there's a whole cycle where this is flesh and it's just sitting because it doesn't extend downward. What if it did, though? Hold on. What if I can give it something to do for a moment so that it doesn't process the turn to bone command? We can actually put this like really high up in the priority queue. Wait, undo that last one. Sorry, it's this command needs to get walked up real high. It needs to be above. Yeah, so shouldn't it fire here? It's higher priority than this thing extending left, isn't it? Yes, you would think so. This is the command that makes that extend left. But I guess it doesn't work like that? Let me try something. If we give this... Yeah, if we give this something to do... Obviously this doesn't work, but I'm just trying to figure something out here. So if we give this something to do earlier, it won't extend left. And then if I do like a seed with nothing to its left turns to bone. Seed with nothing to its left specializes to bone. But I do it earlier. Yeah, I can't quite get this to work because the, well, if I put it... So... Yeah, it's already before the instruction it would need to be before to prevent that. So the timing just doesn't work right on that. And seed with nothing to its right turns to bone obviously still hits these. Yeah. And in fact, it gets those too. It won't if we do it like this, but then this thing gets turned to flesh before it has a chance to turn to bone. I'm having a really hard time. I'm having a really hard time coming up with a way to deliver a command to this seed here that doesn't get delivered to other commands, to other seeds, if we do the flesh transformation anywhere else before we do it here. But if we do it here first and then try to propagate it out from that, it takes an extremely long time. Also, we're definitely going to hit a problem here where if I do like seed with flesh above it becomes bone, then as the flesh propagates over to here, this seed is going to turn to bone as well. This one's actually very tricky. Alright, let me jump to a different slot here. I'm not convinced that that approach is useless, but I do want to fiddle around with this a little bit more. Maybe I'm making this too complicated by drawing it out too much. Seed with metal above it becomes flesh. But seed becomes bone. And then, like, from here, we can give instructions that only affect... But again, we have this problem where you can't give these instructions... Right, I keep doing these things that, like, make sense if you get to, They totally make sense if you get to fire them sequentially. But you fucking don't. That's not how it works. Bone also extends left. Okay. Flesh likes to extend upward. Flesh with nothing above it likes to divide to the right. And then... So, like, bone with flesh above it divides right. Flesh divides down in basically any circumstance, totally safe, creates that problem. No, this is still fine. What if we insert... We turn this to meat and use the meat as a sentinel? You know, you get your classic meat sentinel. Am I actually running out of time? Fuck, I am. That said, even given infinite time, I don't know how we get the bone to extend to here without making it also extend to there. I guess it's like bone with meat above it specializes to this, but with a lower priority than extending to the right. And then you can do like bone with this above it. Right. And then... And then what? And bone with anything to its right turns to... Yeah, and then this would have turned to the next cycle. This would have extended down one, and this would have turned to the cycle after. All right, if I do that... If I do that, the seed here doesn't extend down. I was just thinking, like... What if we moved this over? and I did like a seed extends left thing and made that the first instruction. I'm trying to get that corner play to happen one cycle earlier so that it actually reaches down. Well, this is not going to this is non-functional. Yeah, because we have a seed here that never turns into anything else because the seed and that becomes meat too quickly. Yeah, and if the seed is generally extending leftward, right, then you get a little bit of a weird break here. I am having a hell of a time making headway here. I'm not doing things efficiently enough. I'm not thinking efficiently enough within the bounds of the puzzle. Okay, it's always safe for seed from here to extend both up and left, right? That's never going to cause a problem, I think. Seed with metal above it can also extend downward. But that's no good. Yeah, I don't know. I think I keep coming back to the same idea. My brain is like stuck. And then like flesh divides down. No, you can't. This has to be a seed when it divides downward. Shit. Because you can't go from flesh to bone. Everybody knows that. Okay, I am feeling like I'm sort of like my brain's sort of stuck in a loop. I keep trying a different version of this same solution where I propagate all of the properties out from this thing and it doesn't work. I think what I'm going to do here is, I know it's a little earlier than usual, I'm going to call the episode. I think I need to walk away from this puzzle for a little bit. You know, a day. A day might do it. Yeah, walk away from this a little bit and come back and look at it with fresh eyes so that I can sort of like approach it with my brain in a different gear, I think. So that's what I'm going to do. That is it for us for today. Thank you all so much for sticking with me as I struggle through some of these. When you come back next time tomorrow, I will hopefully have some kind of an approach here. And we can take a look at that final puzzle. Here, I thought we were going to finish this thing today. Ridiculous. So come back next time for that, and we'll see you then.